We have Vinnie listed.
Not yet. Filling up more and saving our wants and needs a little better.
I wish we would have done it a lot earlier. And nervousness goes away. I know one thing we would have changed.
Little worries that we don't have anymore. Well, with that being said, noticed a big difference.
Holy cow, I didn't know that was our next goal.
Go. We've got a humdinger of a video for you today. We decided to take a break from all the hiking and the
traveling videos,
and we've had a lot of questions lately. And Michelle, we spent some time on that, putting these questions together, and we're going to try to answer them for you.
So the top number one question I think lately has been, is there any update on a new RV?
Oh, is there?
No.
Not yet. COVID hasn't been helping either.
No. We have Vinnie listed. Actually, you renewed a listing, right? Just the other day?
Yeah, we'd like to sell Vinnie first. It's a little bit harder to sell. Like if you have a motorhome and you want to trade it in, if you go to a place that doesn't really... if you're not trading it in for another motorhome, a place that doesn't specialize in motorhomes, you're not going to get as much. They usually wholesale that trade-in that you give them, and you don't get as much. And we've been, of course, we've been looking at Airstreams a lot, and that's just what we feel is going to fit our wants and needs a little better. That being said, that's why we're trying to sell Vinnie first. Vinnie is a very good RV, very good Class A. I love it. Another thing, the Airstream that we want, we'd like to find used because they're way too expensive new, especially right now with the big boom going on, everybody buying RVs. So that's where we're at with that.
So, yeah, really no update.
We've got our list over here.
Yeah, I'm looking over here. So one of the other questions that we've had come up a few times is, do we visit with other RVers in the campgrounds that we stay at?
As much as we can.
Yeah. It's really hard for us to do during the week because, as you all know, or most of you know, we work during the week. We're inside this RV all through the day. I have a 40-hour-a-week job, so I have to work 8 hours scheduled Monday through Friday. Brian is also working during that time, and then obviously sometimes into the evenings. It depends on how the editing is going with the videos and all the social media. I try to help with the social media as much as I can after my job. So really, we have the evenings. We like to go out for walks. So if we run into other RVers and strike up a conversation, of course, that's how we meet people. A lot of times on the weekends, that's when we're going to be out and about adventuring and shooting video and stuff. So we're not really in the campgrounds very much on the weekends.
Right. Yeah.
But
so that's the part that makes it hard for us. And it's hard for us to sit in here and watching everybody else outside,
while we're
conversing, and then we do come out and they look at us. There's those hermits.
Yeah, the vampire people that only come out at night. And COVID has kind of made it even a little harder. That COVID thing, it's still kind of a hinder to that. But we do love to meet people. We have met several people along our journeys and kept in contact with several people, some wonderful friends.
In fact, we just got a text from a couple friends that we met. Oh, when was that?
That was at Orlando.
Was Orlando, Thousand Trails, and then in the Keys, Florida Keys.
Ran into them there, too. And then we went out to a restaurant outside last night with another couple that we have met just recently in Arizona. So, love meeting people when we can.
Yeah. The community is one of the biggest things that we really love about this lifestyle.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the
questions. Has COVID made it harder for us to get reservations at campgrounds?
Not at all. We haven't seen that yet.
No. I want to say, maybe only in the very beginning when COVID first started, excuse me, and things were really shutting down and we had to shelter in place. Remember,
But how did that didn't hinder any reservations?
No, but I mean, things things were shut down, so nobody was really traveling. I want to say those very first few months,
Right.
like March.
The question was, has it made it harder to get reservations at campgrounds?
Not now.
No, I haven't. I usually do all the reservations, and I haven't had any difficulties with that. In fact, we always make our reservations as far in advance as we can, so that something is in place, so that we have something, so that we know we have a backup plan if we want to change our mind. And we've done this numerous times. We've had reservations way up, because we can do 120 days in advance with Thousand Trails,
Right.
60 days with Encore. So we do them as far as we can. And then that was like Arizona. We decided to get out of the heat and come up here to
Couldn't take it any
Idlewild
longer.
in the mountains. So we changed those reservations and got right in. We have not seen anything that has hindered our reservations so far for us.
Have our expenses increased or decreased so far this year?
I have not been keeping on top of that. Have you?
You know, last year we did keep track of all our expenses, and then what was it, just this past January we released our spreadsheet with all our
Right.
expenses for that first year. We do still plan to do that again after this year. We'll get everything all tallied up. And
if you haven't seen that video, you need to check that out. We share all of our expenses for a full 1 year.
And it's a great spreadsheet. So we'll do that again. So far this year, I want to say at the very beginning, we traveled less and we ate out less. Again, because of COVID. So the year started out very much less expenses than the prior year.
Right.
But as now we're into, this is September, beginning of September, we've kind of really ramped up traveling again. But our fuel costs are less because
We're staying in place.
No.
Oh,
that
well,
too.
that too.
Yeah. But the TSD card.
Yeah, the TSD card.
Yeah.
That's saved a lot. So when we left, I think we shared that in our last week's video, where we filled up one time and at a TA Petro, and it saved us it was over $40 on that one fill up. So that, as you can see, can really add up. Love's switched over to where theirs is just 16 cents is all you save across the board.
Yeah.
You have to look at their spreadsheets and kind of plan your trip and plan where you're going to stop. Look at how much fuel you have. Make sure you're going to have enough to get there. I always try to use up as much fuel as I can to get to the very best discount as I can on the way, on the route. And this time we found that TA Petro had the best deal, and we ended up finding one. Got there with plenty of fuel left. And that way you're filling up more and saving more money.
Yeah, we're thankful for that. I wish we would have done it a lot earlier.
Yes, it would have saved a lot.
Us all that very first year. But and then also we, like I said, we didn't eat out or do any kind of entertainment the first part of this year. But we kind of have started to eat out a little more again.
Yes. Excuse me while I suck this in.
Yeah. Again, just trying to be cautious. A lot of places we can only sit outside or take out. But it hasn't stopped us for ordering the food and going there.
That's the hardest part about this life.
Yeah.
Is when you go to a new place, especially Palm Springs, Sherman's Deli, you'd think they paid us for mentioning their name so much. No, they don't.
No, they don't, but maybe they should.
But that's hard.
Yeah.
And you're always wanting to try new places, these little hole-in-the-wall places, those always entice us. We like those more so than we do the chain places.
You're right. The chains come in handy if in a rush. Haven't planned for a day and we're still out doing something. It's like, oh, let's stop here and get a burger or something.
Yeah. I do love, cooking out, using the grill.
Yeah.
That's something about camping, campgrounds. This is our, full-time lifestyle. We don't really consider it camping per se anymore. But love to cook out. Love to use our Blackstone grill.
It kind of depends on where we've been lately, because in Arizona, where it was getting pretty hot there, it was too hot to grill, even in the early evening. At least at the site we were at, because we didn't really have any shade whatsoever.
Right. Enjoyed the heat for a while, because it was a dry heat, and we're used to Iowa, where it's just like a swamp when you walk outside. It doesn't even have to be 110, and you're feeling horrible.
Right.
Next question.
Is there anything that we would have changed in the beginning that we now know?
Gosh. Well, kind of. This was part of my vision, is to have a Class A. I just love the Class A's. But there's also that part of me that wishes we would have started from the beginning with what we found out that would work best for us with our wants and needs. But regrets, no. Because I feel that I fulfilled that dream. That's kind of like trying to decide whether you should go full-time RVing, and some people are, afraid. Everybody's afraid to do it in the beginning, of course. But if you don't do it, you're always going to have that regret of what if. If it's your dream or your vision to do that, then yes, absolutely you should. Otherwise, you're going to live life regretting. You're going to blame. I mean, all these things come into play. Whatever it is your vision or your dream is, just do it. Go for it. Because if it doesn't work out, you can always go back.
I know one thing we would have changed.
What's that?
So we've mentioned in the past, the reason we had to tow our car is because we had just bought the car 6 months prior to us deciding to living full time in an RV. So we didn't want to trade the car in and take a hit right. I mean, we'd only had it 6 months. We had to purchase a dolly because it can't be towed four wheels down. We would have probably taken the hit and traded it in, because anything to not have to deal with that dolly would have helped.
Hence is the reason we got rid of our problem child, Dilly Dolly.
Poor Dilly Dolly. But, so that we would have changed, I think.
That sounded so bad. It is what it is, and you move on.
Nobody has hindsight.
2 years into this coming Thanksgiving, that is the day, Thanksgiving of 2018 is the day we left our sticks and bricks.
Can't believe it.
When I first started mentioning this lifestyle to Michelle, she had absolutely zero interest whatsoever. And we haven't talked about this yet, but I'll just ask you right now in front of everybody. I've noticed a lot of increasingly excitability throughout the time. Like I can see that you're enjoying this more and more and more. It could be because she can go sit in comfortable clothes and work and not have to put her high heels on anymore.
Yeah, that is part of it. So that is true. I want to say, starting out, we were nervous, as anybody would be.
Yeah.
So as you get used to things and the way you're living, and you just, I don't know, those worries kind of go away, and nervousness goes away.
Everything
and then
becomes normal.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like looking forward to the next destination, and where are we going to go that we've never been before, and you know. So
everything in life is what you get used to.
Right.
Everything that you get used to, it becomes normal.
Yeah.
They say it takes two or 3 weeks before something becomes a habit. Well, I think it took Michelle a little longer.
It took me a little longer, but the crazy thing is, I feel I adapted. We both actually adapted very quickly to living in a smaller space than a house. That had nothing to do with...
Which I'm very surprised with for both of us.
Yeah, that was not hard at all. So that part we adapted very quickly to. I want to say, just the whole travel day nervousness and stuff like that.
That hasn't gone away for her.
Not really, no. That just, is always kind of a nervous thing. You always want things to go smooth. We still worry about, are the slides going to go in and out okay? Are the jacks going to go up and down okay? Are we going to have any issues with the rig?
Yeah.
So, you still have those kind of worries.
Yeah. There's little worries that we don't have anymore that you don't even think about when you start this lifestyle, like depending on where you live. When we lived in Iowa, we had really bad weather in the winter.
Yes.
And we would have to commute for work. I drove a lot for work, so I always had to drive in that weather, long distances a lot of time, continuously. We avoid that weather now.
Yeah.
We take our home we try to chase 70-degree weather. That didn't work so well in Arizona, but but the prior year we did that, and we went up the Oregon coast, and we were finding weather pretty chilly.
Yeah.
It gets pretty chilly along the coast in Oregon and Washington because of that wind that comes in mainly. But yeah, noticed a big difference in Michelle and how she's enjoying it. I love to see her excitement.
Yeah.
The nature, the new places that we go, the pie.
Which I need to stop, or Brian will be rolling me down the road instead of me following him in the car anymore. But.
Well, with that being said, I think that's a great place to end this video. So we hope we've answered your questions. If you have any more questions, be sure to ask, and we'll try to get another video out there sometime soon to answer those questions. And if you haven't already, be sure to join our email list. Just go to LivinRVision.com/contact. And if you have not subscribed, be sure you subscribe down below. We're trying to reach our new goal. We're going to try to get up there to that 100,000. That's a stretch. That's a long ways away. But
holy cow, I didn't know that was our next goal.
Yes, it is. All right, guys. Catch you in the next video.
See you next week.
Let's call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up. See you next week.